Offers 2 proven effective treatments to reduce and relieve constant pain. Percutaneous electric nerve or PINS treatments and decompression traction therapy are highly effective at relieving constant pain in the spine, muscles, nerves, and other joints. Their highly trained healthcare professionals at Advanced Healthcare can fully evaluate, diagnose, and treat your constant pain syndrome and help restore your life and hope again. These new treatment options, combined with proper medication management, chiropractic, physical, and massage therapy, are covered by most major insurance plans. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Call Advanced Healthcare Center in Jesup today at 427-8433. Feel better today.
Where will you be for Super Bowl 51? Watching the game on an old black and white television and eating frozen pizza? No, you'll be enjoying the Big Dog Super Bowl Party Package. Register today at your Jesup Western Sizzlin' on Sunset Boulevard, Vans Auto Mart and Eagle Pawn Shop on Highway 301 North, Hurricanes Convenience Store at the corner of Highway 84 and Joey Williamson, Sybil's Family Restaurant, and your Jesup Piggly Wiggly. Then on Sunday, February 5th, you'll be enjoying the Super Bowl with prizes from all our sponsors. Your Jesup Western Sizzlin', Vans Auto Mart, Eagle Pawn Shop, Hurricanes Convenience Store and Restaurant, your Jesup Piggly Wiggly, and Sybil's Family Restaurant. Proud sponsors of the NFL from Westwood One on WIFO.
Do you have a dirty car or boat? Does your vehicle, home, or business need window tint? Are you wanting accessories for your vehicle? D's Auto Spa is the solution you've been looking for. We are your one-stop shop in Jesup on Cherry Street. We offer pickup and delivery services. Give us a call right now at 912-424-0680 or send us a message on Facebook and find out more about the services and accessories we provide at the quality you deserve.
Local news on WIFO.
It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. In the news, Wayne County Board of Education set to meet this afternoon at 6 p.m. at the Tech Center. Looking at their agenda, under items of business, under student services, a presentation on Georgia Southern Homegrown Initiative. Dr. Julie Garland will present the Homegrown Initiative. Information on Community Development Block Grant. Martin Weathers will present the information. Discussion on lights on after school. Dr. Brinson will give the information to the board. Also, approval of class size reduction waiver. Also, under financial management, approval of the November financial statement. Discussion on Martha Ross Smith site plan insurance. Also, information on hiring timeline and school board policies. Also, an executive session. All that's set for today at 6 p.m. at the Tech Center. I have a full report for tomorrow here on the local news. Legislative session underway in Atlanta. This past Friday at AT College, the Chamber of Commerce held its annual Eggs and Issues breakfast, and our local legislation gave an overview of what they state they expect to take place during the session. WIFO-FM had a chance to talk with our local delegation this past Friday, and today we'll hear from State Representative Chad Nimmer on his thoughts about the session this year.
Representative Chad Nimmer, January 9th is the day. Y'all head back again, always about budget, but there's some other issues on the table as well. You said healthcare probably won't be, but the governor had his initiative for education. The people in the state of Georgia voted that down, but I understand he wants to bring that back up. So where do you see that battle going?
Yes, sir. I'll touch on education. Let me back up, and healthcare, I believe, won't be totally off the table. We're just going to be very cautious as a state before we do anything to make sure that it doesn't contradict what the new Congress may do. We've got to watch that new federal administration and make sure that we don't do anything that puts us in a posture to have to come back for a special session and redo anything. So healthcare, while it won't be one of our top items, it's going to be a watch item that we have to be very careful with and make sure that we're doing right by the people of Georgia. Education, like I shared here this morning at Eggs and Issues, and always a great event here, and always enjoy and appreciate Wayne County for putting this on. Education, the OSD amendment failed on the ballot this year, and I think the governor's office and the General Assembly heard the people of Georgia. That's the power of the vote, and we will go back. Also, with the voting down of OSD, there was also the outcry of we have to do something. That option wasn't one that the people wanted, apparently, so we will go back and looking at the new statistics, more than 50% of our failing school schools are in the elementary age group. So I think a lot of our focus will be in there, trying to see what we can do in those early primary years to capture a better environment. And we've got a lot of reports to read and kind of decipher through with the study committee that the in the classroom teachers were comprised of. There was 90 plus members on that committee, and we'll go back to our education committees in the House, Brooks Coleman and the folks in the Senate, and we'll see what kind of directives we can take from there. But the main thing, not overlooking the high school and middle school, but again, more than 50% of our failing school systems are in the primary years.
A lot of questions weren't asked today due to time restraints, but I saw in the paper casino gambling might be brought up again. The argument is to help fund the Hope Scholarship. The argument a lot of people ask is, in the old days, people would go across state lines to get lottery tickets. The state of Georgia says we can't lose that money, we got to bring it to Georgia. They say that's the same argument for casino gambling. They like to get forward state. Any chance that survives? And then I hear the island is a possible location for one of those casinos if it does pass. Your thoughts on that?
I've got a lot of thoughts on it. I've listened to the discussion on the casino gambling issue. I'm personally not for casino gambling in Georgia. I'm not for casino gambling, period. There is a revenue nugget that gets dangled out there in relation to casino gambling, but there's a lot of other things that come along with that. You take the landscape changes for Georgia. There's a lot of other negative sides to casino gambling, such as drug trafficking and sex trafficking of minors that come along with and are attributed to casino gambling from some reports that we have seen. So, we wouldn't want to do anything to forsake the integrity and the moral integrity and the health and safety of our citizens just for some money. So, I think that conversation will continue to be brought up, but I think we've got to always look at what the negative sides of it may be. As for me, I am not in favor of casino gambling.
When I go to these county meetings and city meetings and school board meetings, they always talk about funding from the state, how it gets cut. In fact, last night the county commissioner talked about they still have to borrow $4.5 million in the tax anticipation note. They say a big reason is that Georgia transportation tax, where they took all the money. They say the state's getting all the money, and they used to send money to Wayne County. Wayne County doesn't get any money. Same thing with the tag law. Wayne County, a citizen will pay $20 for a tag. 19 goes to the state, $1 stays in Wayne County. How can the state help these counties across the state of Georgia? And
I was listening to that report from the county commissioners meeting this morning on my drive over. And
appreciate you listening.
Yes, sir, WIFO. And I listened to what everyone was saying on there. And I think what we've got to do, and I mentioned this morning from the stage, Mr. Bob, is that we've got to look at some of the revenue growth outside of that 83% of mandatory spending in our budget. Is how do we bring some of that money back to rural Georgia, where the revenue sales don't generate the local income like larger cities have that privilege of doing. We've got to look. HB 170 was a great measure for Georgia to increase the new revenue measure for infrastructure enhancement, bridge replacement. But we're taking money away from the locals. We got to make sure we get that money back in another directed way. So we're going. I plan on reaching out to Mr. Luther and the locals here and finding out some real numbers, and that I can go and make an argument on our behalf up at the Capitol and try to figure out where we can bring some of those dollars back home.
Okay, we appreciate you being here, and again, keep us up to date with the legislative session.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Bob. As always, appreciate you and your radio station, and I appreciate Wayne County.
And again, those comments, State Representative Chad Newer. Tomorrow we'll hear from newly elected State Senator Blake Tillery to get his thoughts on his first session. On Thursday, we'll hear from Tommy Williams, who retired after 20 years of service as State Senator. Again, that's all this week here on the local news. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, other commercial messages, so please stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Chad Nesmith from Nesmith Chevrolet Buick GMC of Jesup. At Nesmith, we have the biggest inventory of new and used vehicles around. We also have the best prices guaranteed. We know everyone wants the best vehicle at the best price. At Nesmith, we'll give you just that. We sell all makes and models from Lexuses, Nissans, BMWs, and of course all GM and domestic cars too. Best of all, if we don't have the vehicle on the lot you want, we can get it for you in just a day or two, tops. All we ask at Nesmith is before you buy to give us a chance to save you some money. We will have the best prices and give you the most for your trade guaranteed. So don't pay too much. Come and see us today and let us show you how we can get you into the vehicle you want at the lowest price guaranteed. Only at Nesmith Chevrolet Buick GMC of Jesup on Highway 341 towards New Brunswick, or visit us online at nesmithnow.com. That's nesmithnow.com or at 912-427-2045. There ain't nothing wrong with the right price.
Morton Collision is located at 1320 West Pine Street in Jesup. Morton's offers free estimates, 23-hour towing, and they guarantee their work. Call 427-3769 or after hours 912-294-6140. The staff at Morton Collision Center works with all insurance companies. So for guaranteed work with a qualified staff, go to Morton Collision at 1320 West Pine Street in Jesup. Morton Collision, quality you can see. Saturday, February 25th, Big Dog Country WIFO presents The John Conlee Show. John Conlee. Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. at Coastal Pines Technical College in Jesup. I'm just a common man, the John Conlee Show. Tickets available locally at Sears, online at www.itickets.com, or by calling 800-965-9324. Don't miss John Conlee, Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. at Coastal Pines Technical College in Jesup.
New location, same friendly hometown service, Jones Drugs. Come visit with Misty and the rest of her professional team at Jones Drugs in their new location at 149 Northwest Broad Street in Jesup. They provide you with personalized service. Check out their convenient drive-through service. Jones Drugs offers very competitive prices, the same or lower than some of the big corporate chain stores. Fast, accurate hometown prescription service and more. Jones Drugs, now located at 149 Northwest Broad Street, serving Wayne County since 1946.
Wayne County Solid Waste Authorities has a called meeting set for January 17th at 6:30 p.m. at the County Commissioners Meeting Room. The purpose of the called meeting is to hear from Attorney Lori Peel Roberts regarding the county ordinance that was discussed at the County Commissioners Meeting this past Thursday. At that meeting, Attorney Lori Roberts argued that the county's ordinance regarding wetlands is valid and enforceable.
As I said, I'm here tonight representing No Ash at All and the 500-plus members of that organization who all oppose the large-scale dumping of coal combustion residuals in the county. I'm here tonight for the same reason you are all here tonight. I care deeply about this community. 5 generations that I know of my family have lived and worked in this community, and I care about this community and its future the same way that you do. I know that's why you're all here and why you all serve in the capacity you serve in. Tonight I want to talk about the Wayne County Wetlands Ordinance. I know that's something y'all already know about. That's not going to be a surprise to you all that ordinance exists. But I want to talk about it here tonight because there's been a great deal of concern expressed in the community about the lack of enforcement of that ordinance. That concern's been expressed to me, that concern's been expressed to the organization, and I also have seen echoed in the media and elsewhere that you all have concerns about the enforceability of that ordinance. No Ash at All has heard your concerns and has spent a great deal of time and money and resources to try to resolve that issue for you so that we can move forward with a plan. The questions here are, number one, is the ordinance enforceable? And number two, does it apply to the Broadhurst environmental landfill? The first issue, whether the ordinance is enforceable, the answer is a resounding yes. It's been on your books since the year 2000. It has been readopted and reaffirmed in the Wayne County Joint Solid Waste Plan that was adopted most recently in 2010. I believe it's the 2010 to 2021 plan. The ordinance is referenced in that plan, and it actually appears in its entirety verbatim in that plan. So there's really no question that the ordinance applies. It's never been amended, it's never been repealed, the language has never been struck down by a court of law. It's as good a law as any other law you have in your ordinance book. So then the next question is whether or not the ordinance is enforceable. Does it apply? What we need to look at to answer that question is the language of the wetlands ordinance itself. And I know you're familiar with it, so I'm going to read from it as little as I possibly can. Some of you were probably part of the commission that actually enacted the ordinance, so I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. But what we need to look at to see if it applies is section 1656B, which states reference map. The official maps to be used as the determinant for location of wetlands in Wayne County and to be regulated area under this article will be the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's National Wetlands Inventory Maps for Wayne County. Okay, so that's important because we're not using the Corps delineation. We're not using the Corps' wetlands. Under this Wayne County ordinance, in your wisdom, you made the decision to use the NWI maps. So, fortunately, we have some very smart and talented and passionate people in this community, one of which is Miss Lisa Sykes, who you may be familiar with. She's on the agenda after me, but she's going to give me a little assist here. She's spent a great deal of time, hundreds of hours really, studying the Broadhurst environmental site, the law, and the geography, and the permits that were submitted, both to the EPD for solid waste permitting and to the Corps. But specifically, she has a degree from the University of Georgia in geography. She has done postgraduate work in GIS mapping, and she worked for the Census Bureau doing mapping for several years. So she's our expert here tonight. I'll let her on all the details, and you can address all questions regarding the maps to her. But in a nutshell, she took the information that was submitted by either Republic or Central Virginia for permitting purposes to those respective agencies and put them in her mapping system and match their Google Earth images to the Google Earth images in her software. So she can pin their diagrams to the Earth and create these maps. And in it, she can overlay their blueprints for the expansion. She can overlay the NWI maps for wetlands purposes. So what this map is, you can see the outline, that sort of orangey red outline of the landfill. And you can see the area of the landfill as it exists now. And then you can see in that purple polygon, there's some green shapes. Those are NWI wetlands. There are NWI wetlands in the landfill expansion area.
And again, once again, Attorney Arch will be at the Solid Waste Authority meeting on January 17th at 6:30. The County Commissioners meeting room. The public is invited to attend. Wayne County Historical Society meets Thursday, January 12th at Sybil's Family Restaurant. Dutch Treat Meal begins at 6 p.m. The meeting begins at 7. Program will be presented by Pam Hughes, 6th and 8th grade gifted education teacher from Arthur Williams Middle School. The poem Where I'm From was the prompt used by students to research their county or town using digital storytelling techniques. 3 of these digital poems will be shared by Mrs. Hughes and her students. Public and the new members are welcome. Again, the meeting Thursday, January 12th at Sybil's Family Restaurant at 7 p.m. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Chad Nesmith from Nesmith Chevrolet Buick GMC of Jesup. At Nesmith, we have the biggest inventory of new and used vehicles around. We also have the best prices guaranteed. We know everyone wants the best vehicle at the best price. At Nesmith, we'll give you just that. We sell all makes and models from Lexuses, Nissans, BMWs, and of course all GM and domestic cars too. Best of all, if we don't have the vehicle on the lot you want, we can get it for you in just a day or two, tops. All we ask at Nesmith is before you buy to give us a chance to save you some money. We will have the best prices and give you the most for your trade guaranteed. So don't pay too much. Come and see us today and let us show you how we can get you into the vehicle you want at the lowest price guaranteed. Only at Nesmith Chevrolet Buick GMC of Jesup on Highway 341 towards New Brunswick, or visit us online at nesmithnow.com. That's nesmithnow.com or at 912-427-2045. There ain't nothing wrong with the right price.
Do you want money-saving grocery specials? Sure you do, and you got them at your hometown supermarket, your Jesup Piggly Wiggly. Fresh chicken drumsticks, only 45 cents a pound. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.35 a pound. Cube beef steaks, $2.95 a pound. Assorted pork chops, $1.55 a pound. Other money-saving buys at Piggly Wiggly include Campbell's Chunky Soup, 3 large cans for $5. Pet ice cream, get 2 big containers for $6. Navel oranges, 79 cents each. And strawberries, blueberries, or blackberries, get 2 1-pound containers for only $5. Save at the Pig on chicken leg quarters, $5.80 for the 10-pound bag, and pork spare ribs, $1.88 a pound. And for meals on the go, visit Piggly Wiggly's Deli Bakery. Meats, veggies, desserts, and more, all cooked, packaged, ready to take home for you to enjoy. You save the most when you shop at your hometown supermarket. Your Jesup Piggly Wiggly, 440 West Cherry Street, open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week.
Final notes in news. Wayne County Superior Court in session yesterday. Several police taken. We'll have some of those for you tomorrow here on the local news. But again, they announced that the murder trial of case State of Georgia versus Troy Simmons will begin on January 23rd. Jury will be selected. Again, Simmons facing a 12-count indictment, including felony murder, malice murder, in the death of Wendell Lee. It occurred back on December 23rd of 2013. Also charged with the violation of criminal street gang violation. Again, it's a 12-count indictment. The jury will be selected January 23rd. Expect to go to trial that week. First blood drive of the new year set for January 27th at Wayne Memorial Hospital from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the blood mobile adjacent to the exterior entrance to the cafe at Wayne Memorial. Appointments can be made by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or visiting their website, redcrossblood.org, and entering Wayne Memorial Hospital when prompted. Walk-ins will be welcome that day. Those donating will be given the chance to win a $25 gift card as a show of appreciation, as just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. Again, the blood drive is set for Friday, January 27th at Wayne Memorial Hospital. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morganson, have a great day.
You've been listening to local news on WIFO.
All right, America, H&R Block has some good news and some bad news. Which do you want first? Bad news? Great. The government is delaying some tax refunds this year. But here's the good news. If you file your taxes with Block, you could get an advance on your refund of up to $1,250, no interest, after you file. Come in today or make an appointment at hrblock.com. Don't just get your taxes done, get your taxes won.